And hello everyone, welcome to your very first Bootstrap tutorial. Now, if you haven't seen my course on HTML, then I highly recommend you do, because this will build off from that course where we learned HTML and how to use it. Great, so I'm going to assume you have seen that. Now, a lot of people would actually recommend that you learn HTML, then CSS, and then something like Bootstrap. But personally, I feel we should rather learn HTML, then Bootstrap, then CSS. This is just my personal preference, but you could always in the future just swap this course and the CSS course, I guess, and then you'd have the same course, and they're not really going to bump into each other, they're going to really mix. But let's get started. So first, you probably want to know what exactly is Bootstrap. Well, you can think of Bootstrap as making your HTML look better. For example, if we go here, I'm going to replace this default HTML I have here with a new HTML, where our Bootstrap has already been applied. Now I'm going to create a button and say, click me. If we save this, you'll see we have a button that says click me. This button is pretty ugly, but with the power of Bootstrap, by just adding this one line here, we have a nice button. A button that just looks much better than the button we had. And in this course, we'll be discovering all of these ways we can make things now look better thanks to Bootstrap. You don't necessarily need to learn Bootstrap. You can learn something like Tailwind CSS or Material UI. I just personally think Bootstrap is still a good place to start. Mainly because I know it and I use it in basically all of my projects if I don't want to do any CSS. Cool, so let's get started with installing Bootstrap. I'm going to get back to my old design here. There. So this right here, this is just our basic HTML page. Nothing special about it. Now you probably need to download Bootstrap. Now you can decide. You can either connect to Bootstrap every time through the internet, which is perfectly fine, or you can download Bootstrap and use it on your machine. One of them is online, the other is offline. So if you have internet connection problems, then I'd recommend downloading it. And I'll show you how to do both methods. So you can just say Bootstrap. And let me just make sure I'm doing this in Google. There we go. Then you'll see a https getbootstrap.com. And you just click on this link. Cool. Now here, this is the online method. You can first copy this and you can go to your HTML page and paste it here at the top. There's also a JavaScript that also has the things you might need. You can copy both of them. I don't know if this is required for the newest Bootstraps, but remember in the older Bootstrap you did need both of these. And you can put them here. Some people like to put this script tag here at the end of the body. That is up to you if you want to do that. I don't really care, so I'm going to leave this here. Once you save this, your page itself wouldn't change. But now if we use that example, where we say button, and then click me, and here we go. Class btn primary. And we don't have to worry about what this means yet. Then we have a primary looking button. If your button looks similar to this, then you're good to go. Also, for those of you wondering, we're working with Bootstrap 5. It's the latest one as far as I know. Cool. Now, you can also, if you ever get stuck, click on this Get Started button. And this will take you to the documentation where you can read up on everything you might need to know about Bootstrap. So you can come here if you need to. However, I'm not going to have that open right now because I'm going to be your documentation for this course. Now, if you want to download this, you can just click on this massive download button. And here it will give you everything you can download. So here we can just download both of these by opening them. or my bad, there we go. You just click on the download button. And here you go. You should see something like this downloading. Once it has finished downloading, you can open this in your file manager. And here, as you can see, I have it. Now, you might not be able to do this out of the box. I'm on Linux, and out of the box, it usually works. If you're on Windows or Mac, you might have to download something to do this first. If you're on Windows, you can get WinRAR. WinRAR allows you to extract .zip files. You can also get 7-zip, or I think it's WinZip or something like that as well, if you don't want to use WinRAR. I don't know what you should do if you are on Mac though. But if you go here, we can just say extract to, and we can just extract it to any folder that sounds good. So let's go to downloads, create a new folder, BS for Bootstrap, create, and now we can just extract it in there. We should now have a BS folder which has our Bootstrap inside of it. Inside of this we have our CSS and we have our JavaScript. Now we can take this Bootstrap folder here and we can copy that, so copy, and go to the folder where you want your project to be in. So in my case it would be in documents, trash, BS, and then right here. So there's our Bootstrap. I'm going to rename this to Bootstrap, however, to make it easier. And there we go. So now we have Bootstrap, and inside of it we have CSS and JavaScript. Now inside of these, you'll notice there's a lot of items here. The one you're mostly concerned with is this bootstrap.min.css. This is the minified Bootstrap, which I believe is the lightest to load. Same with the JavaScript. You want this Bootstrap bundle min JS. No, not the bundle, but the Bootstrap min JS. There we go. Cool, so I'm going to close this because it already exists here. So to use it, you can go back to your HTML, and I'm just going to resize this maybe a bit smaller with 1. That's much better. Now we can actually see what we're looking at. First, we want to link the CSS file. So we can go link, link, and we can check the CSS one. So you should see something like this. Now we need to replace this with the link towards this Bootstrap CSS file that has a min inside of it. So let's go here and we can go Bootstrap. We can even go /bootstrap, that works as well. And then CSS bootstrap.min.css. So you want to go specifically for this one right here. This navigation here works exactly the same as what you'd use with an image. You can do this as well, that's fine. I just like to do this to say go from this folder specifically, whilst this one also says go from this folder, but we didn't specify it necessarily. So you want to get this one right here, like Bootstrap min CSS. Or the Bootstrap CSS will also work, but go for the min one because that's what I always use anyways. Then we want to link the Bootstrap JavaScript. For that we can go script, and you'll have a tag with script and then source. Inside of the source we want to do the same thing as here. So Bootstrap JavaScript and then bootstrap.min.js. Cool. Make sure you do get the right ones here, because if you get the wrong one, it may not work. Cool. So let's save that and let's look at the website. We do get a click me. Let's make sure it works, that we got the right thing, by also going down here, maybe create a break line tag and saying span. And for the span, we can maybe say, well done. There we go. We can give it a class. And yet again, you don't have to understand anything here yet. In the next video, I'll cover it more. Badge rounded pill BG success. There we go. So after giving it these, you should see something like this. If this doesn't look like it does here, then I recommend you go redo it, because that means something probably went wrong. But if you have this on your website, then you have followed this course correctly. Whether you choose to do the offline or the online version, it doesn't matter. Both will work perfectly fine. And yeah, that's that. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoy and will keep following along with this Bootstrap tutorial. And I will see you all again in the next tutorial.